Logan Paul daily vlogs.
That era, it was such an intense job. Well, I'd wake up at 8 a.m, edit it all day. He watches it. Oh, yep, cool. And then we post it. I'll then wake up and start again. And that became my entire life for like 2.5 years. I don't remember any of it. Like, people gave me this moniker. I didn't feel like I deserved that moniker. I thought that me just chasing this job, that's what makes me happy, when actually that was the thing that was killing me.
When work consumes you, life slips away. For Hayden, he's gone from the pinnacle of success in his industry to now rediscovering what matters most to him in life.
I have to admit, I actually have a huge resentment of my career. You got to take responsibility and accountability to where you fail people. When your creativity is motivated to hijack people's minds, to take from them, you make that type of content because you're inherently just trying to serve yourself. What's the point of all of this work if you've got no one to come home to? All of this torture that I put myself in the end made me lose everything that actually was more important than any of it. And now they're gone. And now I'm stuck.
You're listening to the Created to Create show.
I feel like we haven't necessarily sat down and had a proper coffee or tea and actually dug into life. So
yeah,
that's why I'm like excited for this too, because it gives us an opportunity to just kind of like hang out.
Well, yeah, we're finally hanging out. It's like we've been meaning to. It was like we've been in each other's lives for like a year and a half now, I think.
Yeah.
But we've never really had the
like
chance
that.
to kind of sit down and actually connect.
100%.
And I think actually that it's weird that like one of the best ways for white men to connect is to talk about their emotions on a podcast.
It's so true. It's so true. That's why I started it.
Yeah,
that's why I started this podcast.
I think it's the only way. I've noticed that it's like if we want to talk about emotions or life or whatever, or actual focused conversations without phones, we have to do it in a podcast.
You have to make time for it.
Yeah,
dude. You either have to do that or you go and play golf.
Yes,
Are you a
that's
golfer?
true. I'm not at all.
That's why we're on a podcast.
Yeah, no. If the 2 times I've done golf, I became the guy who just messed around with the caddies.
Oh yeah.
I'm
just chat out with them, and
I had
and
more
hang
fun
out.
with those. Yeah, there was one time when I wonder if that footage is still out there, but there's a time when I went golfing with Logan Paul.
Okay.
And neither of us give a shit about the game, and we're just driving around the caddies. He climbed onto the roof, and I'm just like and I'm like trying to do donuts with the caddy around the other guy who's trying to get the ball.
That's so funny.
And then in the end we flipped it. We flipped the caddy, and this was right before a boxing fight, and so he should not have been doing that as well.
No,
I could have ruined everything. It was like it's been sitting in my soul since. I could have, like, if I injured Logan, I would have been screwed.
That would have been over. You would have been over. That would have been your moment. That everything just whole career just tanked.
Well, I'll be honest. That's one of the moments when everything would just be tanking.
Oh my
Unfortunately,
gosh.
that happens to be way too often anyway.
We'll unpack that.
We'll unpack that. Yeah.
No, back to the golf thing really quick.
Yeah.
My buddy and I will golf sometimes, and his wife's always like, oh, like why do you go play golf with your homies? It's like 4 hours. He's like, because you can't, it's not like socially acceptable to just take a 4-hour walk with your homie as men. Women can have them, hot girl walks. Men don't got them, dude. We got to go.
Yeah, there's no such thing as hot dude walks.
No, not at all. It's just called golf.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me I got to know about Logan Paul. Like,
okay.
Not Logan Paul specifically, but your experience as Logan Paul's editor with those daily vlogs. And I want to get into the nitty gritty of the storytelling, because I know you have a lot of thoughts on that and like where you were there and where you are now. But open up with just like your time with Logan Paul editing and the daily vlogs. What were some of the crazier things that happened, and what was your take on some of the crazy things that happened as the editor, as someone who's technically maybe a little bit behind the scenes, crafting the story after it actually happened? What's your take on the whole situation of like Logan Paul vlogs, daily vlogs, that the craziness, that era? Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something really, really interesting about that whole experience. It was, I think we did it for like 2 and a bit years, like nonstop, every single day. And what was so interesting about this is that it was such an intense job. Well, I'd wake up at 8 a.m, edit it all day until like 3, 4, 5 p.m. I send it to him as he's waking up.
Yep.
He watches it. Cool. Yep. Cool. And then we post it. And then that's my day ended. I'm exhausted. I go straight to bed. I'll then wake up and start again. And then that became my entire life for like 2.5 years.
That's insane.
Completely, solely dedicated towards that. And what was interesting is so many people come up to me like, yeah, those daily vlogs, like that was good. They were that saved my life, or like, yeah, they were so entertaining for me.
Yeah.
They were part of my routine. It was so good when you did this, and this. I don't remember any of it.
Really, like putting it together because you're just in such a cycle and
such a
flow
state, cycle, routine. And so I'd actually genuinely, it's like I got the job, and then I wake up like 4 or 5 years later, like now living in America, and it's a weird place where like the memories of that whole time is kind of gone because it was just such a constant flow state. Now, like. But so I don't remember it, but I do remember the feelings that I had during the whole time.
What are the feelings?
Yeah.
What were the feelings that you had?
I think the feelings was like at that time, it was like we felt like we were the biggest thing on the internet.
You kind of were the biggest thing on the internet, or one of the bigger things on the internet at that point.
It was, yeah. And so for me, I remember the feeling of just like that excitement when it does feel like the entire world has turned to you. Right. And that is an incredible feeling, and I will say also an incredibly dangerous feeling.
So dangerous.
The ego that type of attention gets you is extremely toxic. And but I think the great feeling was just actually, and this is something that I come back to often, even today in terms of creating and creativity. The reason why I loved it is because it was fucking fun.
Oh, I bet.
It was so fun. Like, this dude comes in, does whatever he feels like is the most fun thing to do, and it happens to be filmed, and then I then get to elevate it.
Right.
And
kind of live through it yourself, too.
Like, you're
living vicariously and sometimes actually living it with them, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you get to take part in that?
Yeah.
Dude, are you kidding me?
It was so fun.
So sick.
I'll also... adding on top of that, again, because this has been many years since I've had to like work through it all.
Right.
Do you know what's that name? Parasocial relationships.
Parasocial. Explain it a little bit.
So parasocial relationship is when an audience member develops a bit like an intimate personal relationship with like a celebrity. Right.
Yeah. You basically put yourself in their life and kind of think that you're a part of it. You develop like this closeness to them.
Yeah. So you develop a closeness, but then that celebrity doesn't even know who you are.
Right.
Unfortunately, I definitely fell into that with Logan, where it was a sense of like I dedicated my entire day, like 8 to 10 hour days every single day for 2.5 years, just editing all of those things, hanging out with all of his friends, editing it all together. Right. And so I very much, for me, developed a close relationship with a lot of them, but I'm on the other side of the world.
No way.
And so
because you weren't to clarify, like for people who might don't know or might not know, aka me, you were in London or England for the majority of these daily vlogs. Yeah. You weren't in the house with them.
I was not in the house. Crazy. I was like separated, isolated from them. It was a great benefit though for Logan in the sense of he would film his day in LA. Yeah. As it wraps up around 8 to 10 p.m. or whatever, he starts uploading it onto a Google Drive or Dropbox. We had it so it would automatically download onto my computer. And so I wake up and it's just footage just on my computer and I can start editing as he's gone to bed. He wakes up and then the video is edited.
That makes so much more sense. Because here I am in my naivety, and I'm like, Hayden's pulling all-nighters. He's on a completely different schedule. He's in the house, he's doing this stuff, and then he's on a completely different schedule, editing these overnight.
Technically pulling all-nighters.
Technically, but not for you. You're on the other side of the world. So.
Yeah. But it was that was the benefit. Yeah. And so it was. So I'm technically pulling all-nighters during the daytime in England. He wakes up and it's ready to go. And so that was the first thing that he did. He woke up every morning. That was the fun part. Like he wouldn't text his girlfriends or anything, or any of his mates. I'm the first person he texts in the morning. It's like, hey man,
how special.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, how's the video looking? And it's just like, oh, But
Logan cares. Yeah, Logan Paul cares.
He did care. But there's but back to the early point. In hindsight, I definitely was unaware of the parasocial relationship that was being caused, and so definitely when I moved over here after this couple of years, again I had a much closer relationship with everyone in the Maverick house, but they really did not know who I was, and that was such an interesting dynamic.
How did you kind of work through that? Because I'm sure you had to figure that out. Like, it became a reality. You're like, oh, wow, I'm not close with these people. They barely know who I am, but I know their whole life story, essentially.
Exactly.
How'd you figure that out?
I think it came of... So I lived in their house for 6 months when I first moved here. An interesting, fascinating time, kind of enjoying this sort of celebrity culture.
Yeah.
But even though I developed even though I developed an unhealthy relationship with these people, I very quickly realized that dynamic. And then once I worked through that, I kind of then came to realize, okay, these guys actually not really my friends, they're my colleagues. And then also, I'll say the hot take, I don't particularly like them anyway. Because it's not my culture. It's not my social culture.
Right.
As in, like, what they're doing, going to the clubs, getting with all these girls, doing drugs, and
it's
it was
not
like,
the life that you came from.
That is, yes, yeah. Okay, no, I don't think they were doing drugs, but it definitely felt like it. But it was like legally, I can neither confirm nor deny. But anyway,
they were doing stuff that you didn't really like, that you didn't like doing, like, necessarily as a person, hanging out, hobbies, all of that stuff.
Fun, just fun thing to just witness. Oh, the best way of putting it, it was just like stars coming into the house every single day.
Yeah.
And that is cool to witness. But then after a while, you're like, this is not me.
Right.
So once I kind of realized it was fun to watch and edit, but then living in it, I realized I didn't like. And so actually, so therefore I got out and then got my own house and whatever.
Why didn't you like that? Because for a lot of people, that's the dream. That is like top of the world.
That is a really good point. I think it becomes a very idealized version, and it feels like that is the version that is often seems to be the most celebrated because it seems to be it gives you the most freedom. But and again, you're rich and you have stars coming over, and all of your friends are hanging out at that house,
partying like rock stars.
But, and I'll put it in the most basic way, but it was like that is one layer of depth. And I feel like, and I feel like I've seen this with a lot of LA people, when you're chasing that type of lifestyle, you're actually running away from something that's hurting you rather than confronting.
Explain.
Let's just say you have like a deep sense of loneliness or a grief or a pain, or let's just say something's not satisfied you as a child.
Right. I'm tracking.
And that is a really difficult emotion. And then you see these people who are like minute by minute seem to be having this incredible life. And then that becomes very attractive because what it's actually doing is sending you the signal that you get to run away and hide from those sad feelings. And therefore you try to go into and enter that life. And then you do get to be putting yourself in a constant state of distraction. So it is so so you feel insecure of a man, put yourself in an environment where you're fucking porn stars. That is gonna get, because you grew up watching porn stars, and so
you don't have to address that feeling within yourself.
Exactly. And now you're getting that gratification that you discovered as a teenager
on a daily basis
when you discovered it's like you're fucking a porn star. Like that gratification is huge. It is like you're hanging out with these rich guys and who are paying for all of your drinks, and so you can get drunk as much as you want. Maybe it was because you couldn't afford to be drinking that much, but now your friend's paying for it because he's the millionaire.
There's no barrier now. You can just do whatever you want.
And I think I would describe it as that is the most heavily marketed and most heavily represented or overly represented version of fun. And I'm saying this in quotations. Right. We are taught at a young age that's the only way to have fun and have a good life is what I would describe as absolute debauchery.
Which is funny because that's something that in my world that I come from is like a really conservative Christian. That's the language I was taught growing up. I was like, that's debauchery, that's sin, don't ever do that, right? And so like as I've gotten into quote unquote the world out of whatever form of sheltered I was growing up in, that like I've realized Oh, it actually is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not this thing that was just held back from me because it was fun and my parents wanted me to experience hell on earth. Like, genuinely, this stuff is so empty and it doesn't fulfill the soul at all.
It's a lot of people are running away from something. And I agree. But on that note as well, it's like, well, when your parents are telling you not to do this thing, doesn't that make it even more tempting?
Of course you want to do
Yes.
it.
Yeah. You want to rebel against your parents. How dare you tell me I can't have that life? Like, look at these people who are so having a great time.
Exactly.
And so
You're starving me of my actual potential in life.
but why did you? But isn't it weird that we all think that was what we wanted our potential to be? Now,
Sometimes you got to burn yourself on the stove before
Exactly.
you realize that the stove's too hot and you shouldn't go near it.
I agree. Backtracking on a little bit,
Yeah, bring it back.
I'm not shaming any of those people.
No, definitely not.
There are certain people who have very, very good intimate personal reasons to why that is the life that they choose to have, and they shouldn't be shamed for it, because like, who the hell am I to have this sort of ego and arrogance and thinking I'm above that type of lifestyle?
No,
look,
I don't think any of us are above it. I think everybody is in a place where it's like obtainable, not in like cool obtainable kind of way, but just like as a human, as a soul, everybody's on the verge. Everybody's already living in quote unquote sin. So that lifestyle, full on, debauchery as you called it, that's like right there, like right through the door.
Yeah,
5 feet from you.
but if it makes, to kind of pushing back on it a bit, if it makes these people happy, as long as they moderate it and don't get too much into it.
What does moderating it look like?
I think going back to the root thing, which is like, if you're going into that lifestyle to run away or hide from something that's eating you in the inside, then, and therefore, and no matter how much you run away or hide in that lifestyle, that feeling will always be there. And then the only way that so therefore you double down on a lifestyle and like self-medicate with alcohol or drugs or stars or debauchery or anything like that. If it's motivated by anxiety and fear, you're gonna get yourself in serious trouble. But if you are motivated by, you're in a healthy emotional place and this is actually fun rather than hiding, then I would consider it's healthy, because it prevents you from essentially like overdosing on that lifestyle.
I see.
And so that is the difference. And for me, from what I've witnessed, like, I've seen there's people who are in that lifestyle because of fear, and those are the ones that get themselves in trouble. But then there are people who are in a great place mentally and emotionally and are perfectly happy, and they have never ever like overindulged. Like, they can enjoy the lifestyle and overindulge, and it makes them happy. Great.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's okay.
Are there like what? I guess I'm super curious about that statement. Like the people that like don't overindulge, but they do certain things, whether it be drugs, sex, or like, make a certain amount of money. Not that money's bad in any certain way, but are there things that are inherently over the line themselves? So like even dipping a pinky toe in it isn't necessarily the best thing for you, even from a mental health standpoint, let's say. Are there things like that, or is it all like fair game? Because then you obviously get into the conversation of like morality, I guess, is where I'm going.
But then now we're going into the ethics of morality, and like what is your perception of ethics and morality? What is my perception of ethics and morality? But then also that is going to be different to what is their perception of ethics and morality. So there's a saying that I say a lot, which is basically, the irony of reality is that it can't exist because everyone has a different idea of what that is. And so that is the reality that they have chosen to accept. And so what they are doing, they do not consider unethical, they do not consider immoral, and then I do not consider myself righteous or above them in thinking that that's not the lifestyle I want. And so if they're able to, if like I said, if they are everything, no matter who, where, or what you are, where you sit in your ethics and morality, like that's for you. That is for you to have for yourself,
right?
And that shouldn't be put as a judgment on other people because they have a different system, and so I would never consider myself morally above them or ethically above them.
Yeah,
I think that invites cruelty, that invites judgment, and so it is basically I know in like that life is not for me. Okay, I shouldn't consider myself above
you
that.
make the decision for yourself to move out of it,
yes,
without looking back in shame on the people that are still in it.
Yeah, it's just because it's not for me does not mean that I'm a better person.
100%. Yeah. Well, I definitely want to come back to that conversation because I know we've talked about faith a little bit before, and like that's kind of the objective morality is kind of the different discussion there. We were talking about subjective morality. Well, the objective like morality and reality is
before we move on
kind of there.
But I will say though,
but I want to talk about that later.
There is a reason why though, for me, why I have this mindset of to not judge, to not shame, or anything like that. It is because, again, with my experience with Logan Paul, we did one of the worst things in internet history.
True. The
forest.
forest.
And that was, the forest. And that was an incredibly, overwhelmingly difficult time. But I was significantly shamed and significantly like had significant cruelty from the entire world because of that.
Wow.
But as I've then come into over the years a much healthier place in it, I came to realize that for me, because I made that choice, that actually made me lose the right to judge people. It's like, oh, they're doing this. I showed millions of people a dead body. It's like, I've lost the right to judge people.
You've committed this crime in a sense. You've committed this.
It's a crime.
It's a crime.
It's a crime. It is. And look, it's been a while.
You are never going to China.
Japan actually.
Japan, not China. Sorry.
Okay, now you're banned from China.
Now I'm banned.
But because of that, truthfully, it's made me lose the right to judge people, and all it's actually done is it's taught me how important compassion and empathy is for everyone.
So true.
I know what happened to me that led all of us in towards that place of thinking that was a good idea.
Yeah.
And then I understand why in the toxic environments or toxic mindsets that we made that choice. So therefore now, when anyone does something bad, when anyone does something that hurts someone, when anyone does something that self-sabotages themselves, I come into it with as much empathy and compassion into what unfortunate series of events led them to thinking that was a good idea. And allowing the forgiveness and understanding, because those moments are not their best character. Those moments are not the true versions, mask off versions of themselves. No, that's someone with a nervous system that is completely out of whack. Yeah. And when they come to, they're going to regret those decisions. And I think we got to give these people, anyone and everyone, that grace and forgiveness and empathy and compassion.
I completely agree.
We all have, every single one of us will be in that place, like sometimes, like multiple times in our year, or in our lives, or multiple times a year, or even a month. And so,
100%.
Truly, when someone, again, I don't get it right every time. I do forget empathy and compassion, and I've definitely failed at that massively in a lot of places. But I do try my best to remember my choices, to then remind myself to have empathy for compassion for when other people do become a unnatural version of themselves. Right.
Dude, I love that so much, and it's so true. Like, we need so much empathy for people. And the part where you said, I also fall short about, like, I fall short in giving empathy to people. Yeah. That's real too. It's like there are layers to everything, and you just keep digging and digging and digging. You're going to fail at every single layer. Like every level of quote unquote morality that you get to as a human, you're going to fail at that. Like, you're never going to get to a point where you're perfect. Yeah. And like, it's just because of the unfortunate reality of sin, like in our world, and brokenness in our world,
Well,
you know. So
if someone starts attacking you, you go in defense mode, and then off you go, and then you start making decisions defending yourself in an aggressive way. I've been rewatching Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso, so good, dude.
And then spoiler alert. So at the end of season 2, there's Nate the Great, or Nate the Wonder Kid, and he rips up the believe sign, which was like the fundamental like part of the character of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
And everyone in the Richmond sports team wants Ted to hate Nate.
Okay.
Everyone wants to like kill Nate because like how dare he betray the team and betray Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
And Ted the entire season is like, I don't care and I forgive him. And everyone is like so pissed at him because of it.
Yeah.
And
like, why are you giving this guy grace when he
Yes.
just absolutely dog washed our whole entire team?
Exactly, yeah. And he is the one who's had to stand his ground and be like, no, I'm not gonna fight fire with fire or anything like that. It's like, no, I forgive him. Like, I understand. I understand what led him to these decisions, and I forgive him. And it's annoying. It's like so that's when he made the decision. He was being attacked. Like Nate, like verbally assaulted and bullied him.
Yeah.
Like, you abandoned me. You ruined my life. You put me up on this pedestal, and then I succumbed to the pressure and whatever. And then then Ted just didn't take it with aggression. Like he kind of, okay, maybe he just bottled it up inside or whatever.
Right.
But just the fact that he was so compassionate to Nate, despite the fact that he was on a tirade to ruin him,
Right.
I think taught me so much. It reminded me of compassion as well.
100%, dude. Dude, that's so powerful. That reminds me, not to get like straight into faith, but
Yeah.
I read the Bible a lot. So, but that reminds me in the Bible when Jesus is on the earth and he's going through his ministry, you know, before he gets crucified on the cross and that whole deal, raised up 3 days later. It's going to turn into Sunday school. I'm trying not to make it Sunday school.
I'm listening.
But that reminds me of so many stories of when he was on the earth, right? Like we all talk about Jesus and the way he treats people. But this one specific time, there was a woman caught in adultery.
Yeah.
And, you know, the whole town's like, stone her, she's adulteress, you know, she's a harlot, she's a whore, like whatever word you want to throw out, they were throwing out. And Jesus is like, all right, like, who's got the first stone? Like who doesn't have sin? Like throw it. Come on, like throw it. You know, he's like inviting them into a reality where, hey, like if you haven't lied or cheated or stolen or done any of these things, throw the stone. And he's sitting there and everybody's like, oh shoot.
Yeah, it's
Can't
great.
do it, you know?
Yeah, I love
it's like
that.
the same type of deal. And it just blows my mind because like that reality, it's crazy to me. This is my thought. It's crazy to me how we as humans will so quickly put ourselves on a moral pedestal in a specific situation, no empathy, in order to like group together with the rest of the squad and gang up on somebody that did something quote unquote worse.
Yes. Well, it's and the lesson of that story is like everyone's a bloody hypocrite.
We all are.
Everyone has skeletons in their closet. Everyone has failed someone.
Right.
Everyone has betrayed someone. Everyone has committed an act that is that can be considered absolutely awful. And so for you to start judging on this, but I do believe that it's the group tribe. It's a tribe sort of psychology where it's like this person's done an action that inherently, I would agree, hurts the entire community, and deep down we will always regardless have that survival instinct. And so if this person has now violated the trust, like deep down it is like I can't trust you in helping me survive because of this, so therefore I cast you out to help me survive better because I can't trust you anymore. And so and that's judgment. But that is in the early days of humanity, where that was necessary for survival.
Right.
Whereas today, that instinct is actually quite outdated.
It's pretty outdated. Instead, we have like genuine law enforcement now. So if something, we have developed as a society a certain moral code.
Yeah.
And if someone steps over that, law enforcement steps in.
Yes.
They do due process, figure it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would say that's broken as well now too. But we have systems in place. At least we have systems in place to where it's not necessarily. There is some sort of due process, and so people can't just savagely group think and be like, yeah, that person sucks, like he did this, he's out, or like we get to stone him now, or we get to like publicly mock him in the square. Like that's not right in and of itself either. Like that's not the right way to go about it. One thing you said a little bit earlier is you're basically talking about how we have all got skeletons in the closet.
We all do.
And so I just want to simply point to a Bible verse about that, because it relates so well to like your thought process towards things, and it just got me hyped, because I'm like, again, I read the Bible a lot, and so I'm like hyped about this type of stuff. But Romans 3:23, a couple verses around it, basically says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are all justified freely by his grace through the redemption that came by Jesus Christ." So basically it's saying like, yeah, everybody's got skeletons in their closet. Everybody's sinned. Everybody's fallen short. There is no moral high ground when it comes to humans on planet Earth or Mars or wherever you're living.
And the great thing is that the skeletons in my closet are public.
They are.
So
very public.
So I get to own it.
The most public, someone say.
Exactly. Yeah, put that in there somewhere, because it's really it is a funny joke. The person who's morally superior is immoral. I'm writing that down somewhere.
I love that. I love that. Okay, I gotta know.
Yeah.
Why did you take the job with Logan Paul?
I got fired from my job.
Which was
basically, it was like a Facebook video company.
Okay.
Where we were making slop before the word slop existed. I understand it worked, it made a lot of money, it just wasn't what I wanted to make.
Okay.
And so me and the boss did not get along because of that. And so
that makes sense.
In the end, I told the boss to go fuck himself, and he fired me.
Sheesh.
And so, but like, I'm so glad
in the office.
Sheesh. So
it takes balls, man. You didn't even text it. You just walked straight in the door.
Straight, and so he fired me, but because of that, and this is the weirdest, amazing part, I became friends with like the in-house chef of the office.
Interesting. Okay.
And somehow he knew...
He didn't poison his food, did he?
What?
I said he didn't poison the boss's food, did he?
Well, actually, I was tempted to ask him, but... But what was interesting was he somehow knew Jeff Levin, Logan's manager.
Okay.
And because I became friends with him, like he then helped me trying to find another job, and that was at the time that Logan was looking for an editor. Like that week,
it's a perfect match.
And so it was just the stars had aligned, perfect timing. And so just basically just like the word, like I said, the word went round about me telling this guy to go fuck himself, and this guy's a big deal. The chef tells Jeff. Jeff goes, yeah, I think I found an editor, and I did a test edit and got the job.
It's so funny. And how much time? Like a few days?
This was in a week.
A week.
Wow. And I will acknowledge, it's odd that I get rewarded for shitty behavior. Like I should have had consequences.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should have had a consequence from that. I should have been blacklisted, But no, I got rewarded.
Maybe the consequence came later.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But no, it was because it was very fortunate that my courage to stand my ground and stand for what I think is right for me and my opinions then meant that I got a job that was the most fun job that I've ever had in my life. And so it's like that's taught me how the value of understanding deep down your value of yourself,
right,
and where you stand emotionally and opinionally, and to always be true to that. And therefore you'll always will be true to yourself.
Always.
Now I will say again,
and if you're wrong, I'll say if you're wrong,
yeah,
like standing up for yourself and going through with those actions,
yeah,
if you're wrong, will bring about consequences, which then shapes you and kind of like teaches you lessons. And then you're able to kind of continue to hone in on what that belief actually is.
Well, yeah, I think improving the communication of your opinion.
That too.
Yeah, I think it's like the best way of putting it, rather than telling the boss to go fuck himself. Nowadays, I'll be like, hey, I am not comfortable with making this type of content. This is not for me. I should leave, rather than telling the boss to go fuck himself. Like, I've now learned a healthier way of expressing how to stand up for myself.
Right. It's a good thing.
Yeah. So you'll have to learn the lessons. That, yeah, you got to stand up for yourself, but you got to know how to do it.
100%. And then follow up a question to that.
Hit me.
Why did you keep working for Logan Paul?
So I, at the time, thought Logan was going to be just like a 6-month gig until I could like find another job. But then he was like the fastest creator to 1 million subscribers in YouTube history at that time. Yeah. And I went, wait, this is really fun. And then I was then able to realize the potential of him just being like a world famous industry leader. And I saw that potential, and it really, really was a case of, I would like to ride this train.
You wanted to build.
Yeah, I saw what it could be, and then just fully embraced going full on with it. And it was, and like, that was what's excited me. Like nothing gives me more anxiety as knowing someone's limit in their potential.
Okay.
Whereas I was struggling to find what was the limit with Logan, and that made me really interesting of like, into finding that out. Now, in the end, we did find the limits.
You did.
But
you pushed them.
Yeah, but
and then you hit a wall.
Yeah, but it was that excited me, and I see that with people. Like the idea of I love to identify where I can't figure out what their limit is, and I want to be part of their journey in discovering what that is.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I had that with him.
You're a good friend.
Yeah.
You push people.
You.
I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it. And just like knowing you for a year and a half, I've seen how you push the people around you.
Yeah.
You know, and you're constantly focused on how can I make this person better? How can I relate to them better and understand them better? And that's rare, dude. It's rare. Genuinely.
Yeah.
It's rare.
I like to encourage people in discovering their limitless potential. And I've had to also do that with myself when I no longer believe in my potential. And I'm still on a genuine and a personal journey on that. Where it's like, again, it's quite hypocritical. I would admit a very hypocritical thing where I see people's potential, but I don't believe in mine.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
It's very relatable.
Yeah.
I would say the same. I think that's one of the hardest places to get as a human.
It is.
Understanding where you're able to go, right? It's a lot easier to help someone else than help yourself, because we're taught as humans not to be selfish. But then if you think about it, for me, I got to the point where I realized not receiving help from others and not doing the things in my life to make sure that I'm a grounded person, that I'm a well-rounded person, that's selfish inherently. Because you know, I'm always preaching, oh yeah, it's all about others. I'm trying to build community. I'm trying to be intentional with the people around me. Yet if I'm not taking care of myself and I'm not, you know, reflecting and then taking action on that reflection, then I'm starving people of the joy of being around me as a healthy person. I'm starving people from my ability to further help them because then I'm getting burnt out or you know, God forbid anything else, and then I'm not able to actually show up for people as well. Yeah,
well, that kind of brings back that thing I was saying earlier, was like that ends up becoming your way of running away and hiding from yourself.
Right.
That's the trap. It's community and community and connections in that way, and you invest everything into that, and then you don't invest into yourself, because actually that's the scarier part. It's weirdly easy to connect with community and be part of that, because it means that means you actually get to spend less time in your own head or with yourself. But then in the end, your body will shut you down because you, again, it's the cup theory. You're actually no longer filling up your own cup,
right?
And filling and then lacking your own ability to love and care because you're not doing it for yourself,
right?
And so it's like, no matter where you are, that is a weirdly natural state of being to end up abandoning ourselves for other people.
Yep. Yeah, you lose yourself in others.
Yes.
And at first it can be good. It can seem good, feel good even. But then at the end of it, you end up draining yourself and other people as well.
You then become the drain. Yeah.
It's a tough reality to live in.
There's something that I've learned, I would say, actually in the past month.
Okay.
So again, I think with me and my emotional focus in this past couple years, and I would say my career focus, I did definitely become very, very, very selfish and very self-indulgent and very single-minded to myself, and made myself very socially isolated to people, considered myself above people. And what ended up becoming with that, and then, but also incredibly anxious and incredibly depressed and just hiding it all in me. And so I've started running away from myself by just working.
Yeah.
And then every person that existed was like, became this, what can you do for me? What can I take from you? It is like, how can you serve me and make things better for me? And if you can't do it, fuck off. I was very much in that mindset, and now unfortunately I have suffered the consequence of that, and I will say I definitely deserve that consequence.
What's the consequence?
I lost the love of my life.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I pushed away the love of my life.
Dang, bro.
And but the thing that I've been learning recently, especially in terms of therapy, has been, in terms of energy, been learning to unlearn what I would call the take energy, because what it is it's if we're going with the cup theory, like I'm reaching into your cup and I'm taking it out myself.
Just ripping,
I'm ripping out that energy. Whereas actually, and I've been doing this experiment where it's more so, if we're going with the cup theory, like the gifting, like if I'm with someone, I get to gift them something great. I get to gift them something that they're going to enjoy, that's going to help them make their day or whatever it is. And I like to find out what that is.
Yeah.
And then, rather than the intent of connecting to someone so I can grab their cup and take whatever I want and fill it up with my own like toxic cup. And already there's been a massive shift with my relationships with people. Just from that change.
Really?
It's been quite incredible.
In what ways specifically?
Just, they're not abandoning me.
Well, that's a plus.
That's the best way of putting it.
It's a great plus.
I'm not, it's a
great benefit.
I don't end up pushing people away. I used to have those behaviors where I'll take everything from their cup and then I'll push them away. Or it's like, or in other things, it was just so self-preservation, very self-indulgent, but now with these new connections, like I don't want to take anything from you. Like there will be something that deep down subconsciously I would love to get from you, but that shouldn't be my intent.
It's not at the forefront of your mind.
Yes, it's not. Yes. Now my intent is, hey, you're in my life. What's the best thing I can do for you now? What is the best thing? What can let me love you, because basically my new philosophy, like how can I love you? And that's already been making me feel so much better in myself, because I think when there's a lot of love in me and it just fell into a really dark place in my heart, and now that I'm learning to love many people, that sense of love is now feeling a lot more warmer rather than cold. And it's it's because I'm excited to gift these people whatever it is that they want or need. And now I'm getting, rather than just like, what can you do for me? And it's completely, that's basically just like, I'm getting definitely longer lasting, more intimate connections, which is something that I've always been desperate for, but it was coming from a place of wanting to take.
Right. Instead, now you're operating from a place of maybe not full overflow, but you're focusing on giving,
Yeah.
which means that you're in a place of healthy giving rather than even like, oh, just like take it. I'm numb, like take whatever.
No, I'm taking from them.
Yeah, you're taking from them, but you feel like you're giving, you know, with the action. But now you're saying like you're intentionally pouring into others.
Yes.
And wanting to love them.
That's my goal now. And it might be because I have the energy to do it. I could burn out again or something like that. But like that's my goal, is to love and gift them, gift them that, and that is already lasting much better connections. But it sucks. It's taken me 31 years of life to finally learn that.
Hey man, sometimes it takes people 70,
probably never,
or never.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I'm finally having that lesson.
That's beautiful.
But it's
super
like
cool.
I wish I learned it sooner, and I think I would still have the love of my life if that was true. But if I did know that, but I did again, I'm now having to like I don't want to accept it, but I now, it's good that I'm experiencing this lesson of the benefit of gifting.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to, you know, fully just be like, yeah, accept it. But like you said, moving through the lesson of it is allowing you to understand what you do have and who you do have in your life. I'm sure. I know for myself, like I've experienced the same thing, and it does put you in a place where you're bummed, like this person isn't in my life, or maybe they aren't going to be in my life to the extent that I want them to be, that I dreamed of them being. But now I understand, and the understanding will allow you to like truly love and care for people in such a better way than before.
Yeah, I understand. I understand how I've failed people, and I actually think that's a huge thing. For you got to take responsibility and accountability to where you fail people, and if you ignore it or deflect from it or blame someone else or be a victim about it, you're never going to have those lessons. You're never going to learn how to be better. And so
it's powerful.
I am having to take responsibility to where I failed the love of my life, but I am now in a place where I am using my failure as a lesson,
right?
So I can be better for her if she ever comes back, or for any new connections I now have moving forward.
Right.
I now know how I can be good for them.
Right. 100%, dude. Well, that's beautiful. And even now, just sitting here talking to you, it's like you sharing that is just bringing up things in my life, people in my life that I'm like, I should be loving them better. I should not be in a take mentality with them.
Yeah.
You know,
are you even reflecting of like where you've maybe ignored where you probably failed someone, and do you feel like
100%?
Yeah.
I think like just memories coming back and being like, oh wow, and that interaction or that series of interactions, like I wasn't necessarily there for them. You know, I wasn't in a place where I was truly loving and caring for them. I was just like, oh, what can I get from them? How can I better my life and my positioning with them in my life? It's a heavy conviction. I think the more I like go along in my faith journey and draw closer to Jesus, the more I get convicted of those things. Yeah. You know? It's huge.
Have you ever had is there any like friendship breakups or anything where it happened because you were taking? Or even breakups?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I've never been in a fully committed relationship, so I can't necessarily say there's like a full breakup that happened romantically.
But then friendship
breakups for sure.
Those 100%. Suck as well.
They do. Yeah. Almost more than romantic relationships. Friendship breakups, those are tough, dude.
Well, it feels differently because you're not fucking your friends, but
True.
Yeah, it's a different feeling,
to put it lightly.
Like unless you're in a polyamory, but yes, it's a different feeling. But the reason why I mention that is we often attribute failures to partners, romantic partners, but I believe it's also the same to friends and to colleagues, and even just how you interact with a cashier at Target. So, like, have you failed them or something like that? Like that's something that I've been thinking about a lot. And so even if friendship breakups, if you feel like you can understand where you failed them, like I wonder how healing that could be for you to reach out to them and actually talk to them and apologize and take responsibility.
Yeah.
And then in theory, that's a gift. An apology is also a gift.
It is.
And
in the right way and right circumstances
and
too.
so in theory, there could be some reconnections made by taking responsibility.
Definitely. Well, that's one lesson I'm taking away even now.
Amazing.
As we sit here. So
brilliant.
This conversation's already a plus for me. So I hope it's a plus for you guys too.
I feel like we're an hour in and we haven't even talked about filmmaking yet.
We haven't, dude. All right. I was binging your content a little bit, right?
Okay.
I had to. I'm technically interviewing you, even though it's just a conversation. And I came across one of your pieces of content. I think it was recent, and you're basically talking about brain rot. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about how brain rot has gotten to like an all-time high, and we're just in this place where everybody's editing retention. Mm-hmm. Like, and so as a documentary filmmaker, I'm like, I agree. Mm-hmm. But you also mentioned coming from being a brain rot editor. So dig into that a little bit for me. Like, what?
I appreciate the direct call out, and I will take it.
When was the moment that you were convicted of being a brain rot editor?
I think, and I will share this a lot with my personal experiences and perspectives, and I'll do my best to not blame anyone else for it.
Right.
But I would describe it as, I think the daily vlogs, I wouldn't consider that brain rot. Definitely cheap content, but not brain rot. Then they were
still like 4 minutes long.
Yeah. Oh no, there was the daily vlogs like in 2017, 2018.
Oh, much longer.
Yeah, and then there was the 2020, 21 vlogs, which were like the 4 to 5 minutes, and those were still gifts. Yeah, we're talking about gifting and taking like that content design. That content design was a gift, but then a couple years later, around 22, 23, is when brain rot styles and retention editing began to get popular.
All-time high.
But even then, one of the biggest moments of my career is going to Vid Summit in 22, 23.
Okay.
And I went on stage and I said, and my opening line was, "We need to stop looking at analytics." And I'm at the Vid Summit conference, which is all about looking at analytics and all of that stuff, and like how to interpret it to optimize your video. And I did this massive speech on how everyone is wrong. And it was because all of this content, again, is actually, we're going back to it, is designed to take rather than gift.
Right.
Or share. And I'm calling everyone out on it. And then
I'm sure they did not like that.
No, they loved it.
Oh, they loved it?
They loved it. They
really?
loved it. Like, I was like, I got the only standing ovation in Vid Summit's history.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a huge moment for me. And then for me, it was, if I wanted to fix this problem because I believe content is heading in the wrong direction, I need to go straight to the source. And so I did.
You got to fix it yourself.
Yeah, so I got to fix it myself. And so I went to the camp. For obvious reasons, I'm hiding the name, but the implication's definitely there. Mm-hmm. So I went to the camp which was pioneering that type of content, or optimizing high retention content.
Right.
And basically, he hired me to actually be the guy to challenge everyone.
Wow.
So like everyone is looking at data and what to do, and I'm pushing everyone. What do you want to do? What do you emotionally in your gut want to be doing is the best thing to be doing? And basically that then became my job, was to just argue with everyone, to tell them why optimizing your content is a bad idea, because it makes your content so generic and so, in my opinion, soulless and pointless.
Yeah.
And so, but part of me being that meant that I then also became part of the problem in also understanding what retention brain rot styles is. Mm-hmm. And of course, I didn't win every argument. I barely won any of them. But
you argued.
Yeah, I argued. And it actually taught me a lot more about my values and of what I think content and films should, and what they should be, rather than what they actually are.
Right.
And so
I think we're better for it. I think we're better for you going through that journey.
Oh, yeah. But it was like, I don't know if this is in the Bible, but like, know thy enemy.
Wait, know thy enemy.
Yeah, is that a thing in the Bible, or is that just like a war quote?
Love thy enemy is in the Bible.
Oh, love thy enemy.
Know thy enemy.
Oh,
I don't know about know thy enemy. Do research on them?
Yeah. Well, no, just like understand.
Understand it.
Yes.
Well, actually, I will say it is. It is in the Bible because it talks about understanding that the enemy is like a what's it? It's the enemy is like a. I gotta look this verse up. Okay, I found it. Okay, so 1 Peter 5:8 says, "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." So you're right.
Yeah.
Know thy enemy.
Know thy enemy. So
to put it simply.
So that's what it is. So it was. I did not understand these people. I couldn't fathom. It was so confusing, their way of thinking, and again, as I keep saying, like. I shouldn't judge on it. I actually want to understand, and so that was what I enjoyed being in that camp, because I actually wanted to understand why they think that way, even though I fundamentally disagree with it. And I will agree that a lot of their logic is sound and it makes sense on a data perspective.
Right.
But the point that I always make is, like, who are you making content for? A line graph or people? And they're looking at everyone that's watching their videos as a data point rather than the actual human's perspective. But it makes sense. Like, data can give you some great information, but that's it. I would say it doesn't teach you. It doesn't teach you your absolute soul and gut instinct on how to connect with people.
Yeah.
You can hijack their attention, but it's really hard to connect. And it's
not teaching you any life lessons, that's for sure.
And then the reason why I think a lot of that content has become such a huge thing is that if you do optimize since we are in a capitalist society, if you do optimize your content with as much retention as possible, means, what does that mean? You get to throw in more ads, and if more ads are watched, you make more money.
Right.
So of course it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that.
And that's their main goal too.
Yeah. So, and that for me is the issue. That becomes You're taking. I'm gonna show you this video so I can take money from you. I can take your attention. And when your creativity is motivated to hijack people's minds, to take from them, you make that type of content because you're inherently just trying to serve yourself.
Right.
Whereas from my experiences in the early days of me and Logan, is like a lot of it was designed to be a gift. Now, yes, we did monetize and we sold merch and we pushed the merch in obnoxious ways. But
Maverick,
buy the Maverick merch.
Buy it.
But it was but there was a sense of self-awareness and parody in the way that we were marketing the Maverick merch as well.
I do appreciate that about the Paul brothers, Logan Paul, that whole camp is they never. Obviously, they're doing a lot of cringe things, and at some points, as I'm watching it, it's like, seems like they're taking themselves seriously. But now, looking back on it, I can see how they, from the beginning, understood that this was a show. Yeah. And maybe some could say, like, Jake got lost in it at one point, Logan got lost in it.
Definitely, yeah.
But at the core, they understood that it was a show.
Yeah.
And they got back around to that.
Yeah.
And so they never were in a place where they were like full on lost in this like reality of being this person and selling this merch and stuff. Like everything was a show. And so their mindset behind it was genuine, you could say.
Yeah. I agree on that. It was a show first, meant to be a gift to entertain you. And by the way, buy some Maverick merch. It was like,
it was an obnoxious way of saying, by the way, buy some Maverick merch.
Which was exactly, and it made it self-aware and parodying of like, yes, this video exists for you to buy merch, but I also, but because we're making fun of ourselves doing it, all around it, there is a great gift to you. And I would agree, like that, Jake definitely got lost in it. I remember this one video from him and someone did like a live stream analyzing it frame by frame.
Yeah.
And it was like a 25-minute video, and basically 23 minutes of it was just marketing and products and merch and whatever. Like it was like a 23-minute ad and with only 2 minutes of content, of actual content. And that was that when I watched that video, that's what made me hyper aware of things that are designed to take rather than give.
Right.
And so for me and Logan always prioritized that philosophy of just, you got to give more than what you're asking to take.
Right.
And that got lost with all of this retention style. All these videos were just designed to serve them rather than and then didn't actually give a shit about the audience.
Yeah.
But pretended to, because the audience is serving their ego and serving their fucking bank account.
Right.
And,
but at the same time, the audience they're catering to is like a lower level IQ audience. They're not trying to like bring their audience to another level.
That to that last point I agree. To the IQ point I disagree.
Maybe
now,
IQ wasn't the right word.
Now, my theory, or national theory,
media literacy, maybe.
Yeah, media literacy. But I'm also going to treat this as this is my perspective on this all.
Okay. Yeah. Shoot.
So these creators got very popular during the time of the world which was everyone was very, very low and emotionally exhausted, which was the pandemic.
True.
Everyone was actually emotionally unavailable because everyone is having an extremely horrible time.
Right.
And so if you're not emotionally available, imagine this in terms of relationships. If you're not emotionally available, the relationship's not going to work out because you can't give them what they need.
Exactly.
So, and when you're in that stressed out, overwhelmed place, you actually just want brain rot. You want shitty television. You want McDonald's because it's like, because everything kind of sucks. And so that the pandemic invited the first wave of brain rot content, because all of us, we kind of needed that to cope.
Yeah.
And so that's why all of that stuff blew up. And then as COVID kind of came to an end, or as COVID kind of came to the end, I think a lot of that still works because, again, a lot of us were very much emotionally traumatized.
People
by
are
COVID.
working through it all still. Yeah.
Everyone is still fucking, exactly, traumatized from the whole experience from it. And so we needed this brain rot stuff to just cope. We needed something basic because we do not have the emotional capacity for something that that makes us thought-provoking, because everyone's just on survival mode. All of our nervous systems are like so escalated. And so, but now that a lot of us have finally been able to shake off what I am calling the COVID trauma, and our nervous systems are now in a much more healthier place, we are now emotionally available again.
Right.
And now we are looking at this brain rot content and we're getting like, oh,
what is this?
What the hell is any of this? And it's like, and then you feel violated now.
Right.
Rather than it being a thing to help you cope.
Right.
And so now, and now we actually do want something that again feels like a gift again.
Exactly.
Like, give me something because I'm emotionally available for this type of relationship again.
Right.
And so that is why this pendulum is finally swinging back towards that. It's simply because to shake off a trauma does take 3 to 4 to 5 years.
It does, yeah.
To move on from a trauma, yes.
So funny. I wanted to talk about this too at the beginning, so I'm going to take this time to jump into it.
Hold up. Say that one more time. Wait for that to pass.
The motorcycle outside.
Yeah. Give that another go. Yeah.
Okay, I want to chat about this because to me it seems like even now the bigger streaming platforms are coming into this reality of like making more brain rot TV shows and movies. So it's like we had it in TikTok, people went there, but then they still went to Netflix when they were like a little bit more, on the I want to get a gift as you're saying it. So they go to Netflix, but now we're starting to see content that is being written in a brain rot style, and it's like over explained to the audience, and then the audience is like, whoa, hold up. Like I came to Netflix to watch something that's gonna like make me think, and now I'm being fed this like crap essentially. And that's making me mad.
Exactly.
That's why you have the Netflix Stranger Things conformity gate, and all these people are just like, what?
But we used to call it the beastification. Now I'm calling it the Netflixification. But
Beast is off the hook now.
And you're right. I think
Jimmy,
basically
you're off the hook.
Everyone everyone took all of the wrong lessons from the Beast era, but because culturally it was just like the right time for that to work. And then because it's Hollywood, they always take 3 to 4 to 5 years to adapt.
They do.
And so it took. The lessons that they learned from is, hey, we can make shit content now. We can make it cheaper, and no one will care. We know that everyone's second screening, like as they're watching it, they're gonna be on their phone, so we need to be explain. And so, but the world's moved on. And now they're fine. And now they're like the Netflix. The Netflix shitifications only really happened in the past like 2.5 years. Truly. But it's because like they had to catch up.
They finally caught up with Tubi.
Yeah, they finally caught up with Tubi. No, actually, no. Tubi's actually getting a lot better. I've noticed.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm not on it.
They're actually trying to like upscale themselves.
Let's go.
And I kind of like that. But
bravo Tubi.
But it's Netflix or web fucking content streaming platforms. And I hate that when they're going to used to be like film streaming platforms. Now we call them content. They've tried to play catch up in a world that is now rejecting it. And now all of us are going, this is garbage. I don't like this anymore. And then especially because Netflix, I want to ask you something. Do you feel that, let's just say 5 to 8 years ago, I was about to say 6, 7. I avoided it, but now I'm calling it out. So let's say 5 to 8 years ago, we all had the aspirations that we wanted our films on Netflix.
Right, everybody. Yeah. And how do I get it on the streaming platform?
And again, look, Netflix, I still love you guys, but I hate I hate the fact that I'm emotionally now in a place of like I would be embarrassed if my film ended up on Netflix.
I agree. It's a big shift. I don't know if I'm necessarily all the way there yet because Netflix is still such a predominant platform for movies and film and TV. And obviously like we love shows on there that are like still on there, right? And things that have been produced by Netflix are so good. So many great documentaries are on Netflix. Oh, yeah. And me as a documentary filmmaker, I watch that a lot and I love it. But you know, it is getting there. And I think I know what you're getting at because I watched your YouTube video and prep for this. And there's such a great opportunity to, as a creator that's not necessarily getting massive budgets yet, it's almost better to like put something on YouTube or put something on like a different platform that you don't necessarily need to get the rights for. Well, you know,
YouTube has always been a stepping stone. Even though I am fully committed and dedicated to YouTube, I will consider it. This is the springboard for me to go do something better that I couldn't really do on YouTube.
Right. And I think it's a shame that YouTube is in a place now where it's kind of becoming a main platform. Not, you know, to crap on YouTube, but to basically to say we're in a time now where Netflix is coming down. You know, the levels, like YouTube is getting better, but Netflix is always also getting worse.
Netflix has closed the gap.
Exactly.
They're
the hare.
Yeah.
You know, YouTube is the tortoise. Yeah. They're the hare. And they had all this steam and they just decided to take a nap under a tree. And now they're like, oh, shoot. People watch YouTube a lot more than they watch Netflix. Well, what are you going to do about it, Netflix?
YouTube, to like soft quote or fact check, I think YouTube is 5 times more watch time than Netflix.
So they're already passed.
Oh yeah, they passed that. That was 2 years ago, I believe.
Oh wow.
YouTube.
I'm behind the mark.
Everyone watches YouTube more than any other streaming platform. I think even combined. I think.
Wild.
Yeah, it's and so YouTube has passed it, and now YouTube productions are getting even better. And that's an interesting point. I just realized, like, Netflix have allowed themselves to put themselves through shitification while we're getting better. And now that gap is closed, and so it's actually even more. They put themselves in an even more dangerous situation now. But it was because they looked at the beastification era and they took that as permission to make cheaper productions.
Right, because they thought that's what the people on YouTube were watching the most of.
And and so what they really should have done in hindsight is they should have doubled down on making the stuff even more premium.
Right.
Like, make YouTube look
you are Netflix. Yes. You are the premium.
Yes. Continue to make YouTube look amateur, and you're the premium platform. Like, Oh my god,
it's such a simple
me off now.
It's such a simple concept, you know. Like, I mean, we talk about it in reality with relationships and the way that you handle communication with another person. You know, everybody always says like, oh, well, don't stoop down to the level of someone who's arguing it like with you. Rise above, right? We hear that all the time. We learn that, and then Netflix literally is just like, no, I'm gonna stoop down and fight down here. It's like, bro, you're already on the mountaintop. Yes. Why are you coming down to the sea level?
I know. It's like that's not making their business even more difficult. It's crazy. That's one of my favorite quotes as well, by the way. It's like, never argue with an idiot, because they'll bring you down to their level and then beat you with experience.
Facts. So, yeah, they're great at being idiots. Yeah. So, they're great at it.
And I think, Netflix, and so that is like YouTube. We are the idiots, but but we were getting the numbers, and then Netflix went, oh, but we want those numbers, and now they've allowed themselves to be idiots, but they should have remained, and they should have kept themselves as the steak dinner, the premium stuff. And I think they would be dominating even more so right now. And the fact that they went the opposite direction. On top of that, Disney Plus is another great example. Mm-hmm. Disney Plus came out with Bob Chapek, and he stopped calling films and TV shows that, and he started calling them content. And
it's a mistake.
And then he started dumping all of these rushed Marvel shows that were like very cheaply made and rushed.
Everybody knew it.
Yes,
everybody could tell.
Everybody could tell, and then look at the Marvel brand now. When like as Endgame was, it was considered the biggest brand in the world, and now because they instead pushed content, mediocrity, and so they went quantity. It's like now everyone's kind of struggling to maintain being committed to Marvel.
Right. Everybody wants to be committed.
Yes.
They have the nostalgia still.
Yes.
You can still go back and watch the Avengers.
Yes.
And you get that feeling again. But then you realize that since then, it's gone downhill. And so you're like, every time a movie comes out, I'm like, it's Marvel. Like, I want to go see it. But also, I don't want to go see it because it's going to be terrible.
It's just going to be content rather than quality.
Exactly.
And I don't want that. It was like, I it's such a shame when I'm watching movies like Brave New World. And it was like, that movie just felt
I almost walked out of that.
Yeah.
I almost walked out of that.
It felt like content, which is a shame because like the whole franchise I love, but it's just like, it was content. And I could tell, I think some of the filmmakers...
That fight scene was so bad.
I know, and it breaks my heart because I do love Marvel, and I do say the moment in Endgame with Captain America and the hammer, one of the best moments of my life.
So good.
And it's such a disappointing... I mean, again, we're going back to failure. Like, why do people want to be failing everyone? Like, Marvel, Disney, under Bob Chapek, chose to be failing their audiences, and now audiences are saying, no more. Yeah. And then Disney like, why? It's like, come on, quality always is king. Why is that? Why do people keep abandoning quality? Is something I will never understand.
Well, I think it's because you think that's what the audience wants, obviously, or you wouldn't do it in this regard. And so you think that the audience wants something that's lower quality. So then you make it. But then when you get the negative feedback, then like you said, you're like beside yourself, but then at the same time, you spent all this time making the worst quality, and you were able to cut corners, you were able to like make it easier, and then, you know, you're like, oh, well now it's going to be hard to get back into it. I'll pivot right now to make the point even clearer. I've always had like a roller coaster ride with fitness, right?
Yeah.
So as everybody knows, when you're in a good place and a consistent place with fitness and diet and health, you know, it's easy. You're doing it. It feels great. You're at a level of performance that's better. You're like, I'm like in the gym, I'm playing ball, I'm hooping, and I'm actually playing, and it's fun, and it's like fluid. And then, you know, I get tired maybe in life, and I start like being lazy, and then I get easier and easier and easier to be lazy, and I get comfortable with that. And then when I do have the moment of, oh shoot, like I need to be better at this, I need to get back in shape, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Because I haven't done it, and I haven't put my body through that as much. And
Yeah.
so now I go out to run a mile and I'm
hard.
cooked.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I would agree with that. It's like when you're doing this thing over and over and over again, and it does like you do get good at it, but then life starts to happen, and then like challenges happen, stress happens, this thing is now kind of ruining your day, this person cut you off, and all of those frustrations puts you into that place where, again, you become emotionally unavailable.
Right.
And I do believe you become emotionally unavailable to yourself as well. When you
True.
abandon yourself, and you do that, because everything's kind of shitty, you abandon your fitness, which was making you feel good.
Right.
And so it's that same sort of process.
Yep.
And so you get caught in that. And I think, it was with Marvel, I agree. Like, they got complacent in making these things great. And then I think their ego, or they're like, yeah, this is it, we figured it out. And then they got,
we got the science down.
Yeah, we got it. And then they became complacent with it, and then the quality just dipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how, as creators now, in a place where we're creating things and we're putting them on YouTube, right? We're not Netflix creators, we're not directors, producers. How do we make quality content? I want to rephrase that. How do we make a good story? How do we tell a good story?
Well, pointing out, it's interesting that, like, I resent Netflix and Disney for making content, but I also want to acknowledge that we do make content.
We do, yeah.
Like that is what we can do, but I resent premium platforms for making content. And so
Right.
I'm still proud to make content. I just don't like them making content. I expect better.
True.
That's what it is. I expect better from them. You know?
Exactly.
And so, but I also do consider what I make now. I also consider it making a film or making a TV show. Like, I treat all of it like that. But
You're
then
very intentional with it.
yeah, but then,
right?
but I guess I just put it on YouTube. So I think with storytelling, I think we're finally learning a lot of the lessons. And then I think we're turning into this sort of, we now know that the dangers of just hijacking audiences' attention, and rather than, and now discovering the process of politely asking for audiences' attention and then again gifting them something great. And those are the creators that are now standing out. It's like it is the protest of retention content.
Right. Quiet
And-
protest.
Yes, a quiet protest, and I would also say it's a protest of AI content as well.
True.
And so that is now becoming the new currency and value. It is.
You don't like AI, do you?
No, I'm an AI centrist.
Okay, what does
So,
that mean?
as in, I like some of the things that AI can do to support me, but I fundamentally disagree with AI being an output.
Okay.
So
Makes
if it's gonna help me find some footage faster, or it's gonna help me make some storyboards, and so I can communicate with my graphics artist better, or my thumbnail artist,
Right.
it's like, as a communication tool, great. Or if it can do the rotoscoping, no one wants to do rotoscoping. No
tedious, hard.
Yes, no one wants to do it. Great. If I can press a button and it can get 80% there, great. Is that taking anyone's jobs? No.
Maybe a little bit, but not necessarily,
yes.
because most people, most clients
Yes.
per se, people asking for that service aren't necessarily going to still go and learn how to even
Yes.
use the AI in that way.
Yes. Well, and then also on top of that, you're not going to be replaced by AI. You're going to be replaced by the person who uses AI. So if a rotoscope artist is able to use AI to just do the first draft, and then he goes in and nitpicks it, he's going to be the one that's going to get the job.
Right.
But now he can now he can rotoscope 10 shots a day rather than one shot every 2 days.
Right.
Like, his process has now been improved. So, but to just essentially prompt something and prompt a bunch of cheap images and whatever, or generate whatever video and then putting that online and then calling yourself a content creator, go fuck yourself. It's like, how dare you?
Politely put.
Yes, like, how dare you? And so that is my opinion on AI. It's
I
like,
appreciate your crassness.
like, I'm British and so I get to get away with it.
I am sorry to the listeners. I mean, normally there's
Yeah.
not too many like cuss words on here, but I will say this. I'll address it now. I'm not necessarily wanting this podcast to be a a very well put together Christian podcast. I myself,
you shouldn't have had me as a guest then.
I'm a believer, right? Like
Yeah.
I believe Jesus died for me. I believe all these things, and I hold myself and try to push myself to a certain level of just like a standard of like living and speaking.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not going to push that on you. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I felt an implication of considering yourself superior because the fact that you don't speak like I do.
Oh, you do. You feel that from me.
I felt that from you though.
I'm sorry,
I
man.
don't like that. I don't like that feeling. So I'm going to call that out. It's
call it out. I apologize for that.
But this again goes back to I think I talked about earlier. Like everyone's lifestyle choices, and we shouldn't consider ourselves above or morally superior to anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like respect everyone's choices.
100%. Can I ping pong back to you as a friend?
Hit me.
I want to call you higher a little bit. I want to call you higher as a person. I don't think cussing necessarily, like these specific words. There are specific words that are bad, and not good, not uplifting per se. But I think as an intellectual thinker yourself, because you are so smart, bro, and as an intellectual thinker, I think like using certain language can diminish some of the things that you're talking about, like because you speak and think on such a high level, and you make these incredible arguments. And I think sometimes throwing the F word out there is fine, like every once in a while. But I think like using it like more often, especially in content and in like conversations where you're genuinely like presenting these well thought, put together ideas, I think it can diminish a little bit. So I'll leave that. You can chew on it, do whatever you want. But as a brother, I just want to call you higher a little bit. Yeah.
Because I disagree.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, it's yes, I do have the privilege that I can speak in a very fortunately intelligent level. Right.
Only because you're British.
And the British accent makes me sound even smarter than I actually am as
100%.
well. For me, it's no one likes a smart ass. And I don't want to consider myself as like in this genius place or anything like that, because again, like I think those people are quite insufferable for me.
That makes sense.
And then also, because I am able to talk at that level of intelligence, that can make it more difficult for people that I want to communicate to and understanding, or feel like they can't relate to me because I'm at a different level of intelligence or logic that they might particularly relate to. And so for me to essentially, by choice, not take my intelligence as seriously, and then also kind of just like, I can say my intelligence, but then also devalue it just a little bit by swearing or being a bit cheeky about it, can help them feel invited into the conversation.
That makes sense.
And so, and so it's like, I don't want to hold myself on such a high standard that I feel like I don't have permission to be swearing or be sort of vulgar in that way of talking. And so I want to make sure that everyone can understand, but then also I think I challenge that idea of like swearing or that type of communication is for the lower people. It's like, I think the if you do censor yourself, I think that can be, I think you are also removing maybe a true part of yourself. I think it does feel quite true to me that I have this courage to be communicating in this way, because I feel like I would like to think it's making me communicate that I'm a lot more honest and grounded, and I'm not sugarcoating, I'm not being as performative about it.
You definitely are.
And then my best way of putting it is, if I am talking intelligently but swearing in between, and then this person's taking an offense to me swearing, then that means you're not actually listening to the intelligence I want to share. Saying.
Right.
And if you're taking offense to that, then you're actually not going to understand me anyway, and I don't want you as my audience.
True.
And so
makes sense.
But what I will say though is like my opinion and your opinion both can be true.
Right. Yeah.
I
totally agree. Because you are speaking to an audience, and I can revert back and kind of align with you there, because when you're making content and you're swearing in content, you're making it for a specific audience. So I think my point was more to two things. One is just more in like specific rooms that you might find yourself in where people have certain values.
Yeah.
You know, if you use that language and you're trying to communicate with them, it might be an issue, more or less. And then
For me, then those are not the people I want to work with, though.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's become a great filter for me.
True.
So of friendships, relationships, all of that, it's become a really good filter of if they think that they can use their judgment to minimize me, well then I will say it. Then go fuck yourself. Like I don't want to be part of your life if you want to minimize how or feel superior to how I feel like I can be. Right. So it's become a good filter for me because of that.
That makes total sense.
but I will do acknowledge that my choice of character and personality does offend people, and I should also take responsibility for that as well. And if I do make someone uncomfortable, I should still apologize.
Yeah,
and I can explain, hey, this is how I am as a person, but I can understand why this hurt you. Right. And I don't want to hurt people.
Exactly. It's like the empathy piece, basically.
So if I have hurt someone with the way that I am, I should apologize.
100%.
Because I shouldn't be hurting. I should be unapologetically me, but also apologize when it does hurt.
Yeah. I think that's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I admire it. I'm not offended by it necessarily. I want you to know that.
Well,
I'm quaking over here, man.
So, but you are pointing out, and I guess we'll have it in this podcast, and it was something I had a conversation with Tanner Charles, where
Tanner, yep, love
where him. Yes, my character and personality has a bit of an extreme to it. And then with this community that I have been getting involved with, I understand that style can be offensive to them, and so I am learning what their boundaries are, and I am respecting them. While also still doing my best to be who I am and true to myself,
right?
But understanding to not offend people, and so that's a delicate balance,
right?
But it's like I do respect people's boundaries, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
While also not abandoning myself by respecting their boundaries, and that's a very delicate balance, and I have failed people in doing that.
It is delicate, but
it's delicate. I have failed people in doing that, and I have in this past year hurt people because of that as well. But I have apologized, and I understand. I would agree. When is it appropriate to be me, and when is it appropriate to manage that behavior? Yeah, I do understand that.
Yeah, 100%. No, I totally get you, dude. And I mean, from my point of view, again, it's not something that necessarily offends me, right? I think I just seek to understand you better as a person, as a brother, as a friend, because we have gotten close as friends.
Yeah.
So I just want to understand you better too, you know, and like push you in the things that I kind of see you moving toward as a person, you know. And I think like hearing you talk about like the empathy moved me to talk about that, you know, because I was just like, I see that in you.
And
so
I really respect you sharing your opinion and feelings on that. I'm really glad you didn't hold that down or speak to someone else about it. You told me. And
right on,
that's
I'll always
good.
Tell it
that's
to your face.
Good communication.
Yeah.
That is good. And now we understand each other better.
We do. And I respect you more for the way that you live and
I'll swear less to respect you more.
You don't have to. No, bro. I appreciate it, but you don't have to cut yourself off on that one. Maybe for the audience, but not for me.
Then for your audience, then yes, I will manage my behavior better. No, but there's no. I should be respectful, and so I will manage my behavior better.
Hey, bro, yes. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. That's beautiful. I like that a lot. Okay, so we kind of talked about stories. We talked about like how to build a good one. And if you want to learn more from him, just go to his YouTube channel, Hayden Hillier Smith, and you have a lot of videos on these specific topics. He has a lot of videos on these specific topics. Good storytelling, just great ways to make good quality content. And he might drop the F-bomb. So if you don't like that, I guess don't watch it. But
there we go. Now
it's great content either way.
Now you get it. Genuinely, at the end of one of the videos I recently posted, it was like I genuinely went, all right, the video's over. F off. I mean, I said the actual word. I said it, but it was like, right, the video's over. You can go, like, you can leave. And it was just like that.
I laughed at that one.
It's fun. It's like, it shows, it very much I would also
it's on the nose, but it connects.
Yes.
It does.
I would
connect.
also say, I think it's also my way of a quiet protest as well, of everything being squeaky clean, algorithmically clean.
Yeah.
For me to like not hesitate in that type of language is my way of protesting of the algorithm and being generic. It's like, that feels like me, and that is the huge value prop right now.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You've got the more perspective and opinions and like passion that you have of yourself to the audience, people tune into that.
They definitely do.
Yeah.
They definitely do. Well, I was going to ask this question, so it's a great segue now.
Yeah.
But when it comes to being in a room and like trying to level yourself up, and whether it's networking or just relationships in general, when you're trying to like live as a bold person, when is it okay to be that like bold, maybe loud person, and when is it needed for you to like step back in a room?
Oh, do you consider me a bold person?
I consider you a bold person when it comes to the creator world, and like you're always, when I see you in action, you're always someone that is having conversations and starting conversations, and I think that's bold because most people wouldn't even start a conversation. So I would consider yourself bold in that regard.
Definitely bold and courageous in some places, but then also I'm pretty sure you've also witnessed the times when I have had
you are introverted,
severe anxiety and severe depression, and I think even antisocial behaviors or unsocial behaviors. And I think I am both ends of the spectrum, and it's so like there are times when I'm like hiding away and just like I'm terrified of everything, and then there's other days where it's like I just have the best like ridiculous courage in the world. Like right now I consider this courageous, but like yesterday if we had a podcast you would have seen me in a very hidden mode, and so it's good that we're recording it today. But
I'm glad.
So the reason why
just in a room, right? Say you're in a room, there's 20 other people, and we'll just put ourselves in a networking position. Say it's a what's it called? A social. Right. You're there to meet people. When is it okay to like be the bold person and the loud person, and when is it okay to be the quiet person? You
got to moderate it very carefully, but if you're too bold, you come across as arrogant.
Right.
And then also you got to very much keep in mind that you might be proud of what you're doing, but if this isn't like a networking event, there's a good chance that the majority of the people here are already far better and cooler than you. and so you don't want to come in thinking you own the room, because you're gonna look like an idiot doing that. And so I think boldness might not be the appropriate word, but I would say respect. And
I think boldness and respect should go hand in hand.
And so don't come in as if you own the place, but then also be so curious about other people. And I'll phrase it in another way. One of the lessons I quickly learned when I moved here to LA is when someone asks, "So what do you do?" What the subtext of that is actually, how much do I need to respect you? And
it's a good way of looking at it.
And I have to be honest, I don't like that. And so what I've been trying to figure out is like, how can I confidently share myself and not sound arrogant, because even though I'm labeled as an industry leader in the web media space, like I do know that there are people that are far better than me at this, and so I don't want to brand myself as an industry leader. It's like I'm just passionate and happy and enjoy what I do, and people seem to like it. And then through that sort of humility, and if you're able to make a good social connection, they will look you up. And then they're going to discover how great you are.
Right.
And rather than you telling them how great you are, storytelling, rather than showing.
Right.
Give them the opportunity to discover you.
Right.
And discover discover the respect they should give you. And so I think to kind of answer this question really is like humble boldness and respect, and don't assume that you're the best person in the room. I think it's healthier to assume that actually you're not, that you're actually you're kind of at the bottom of the level, because it gives you a lot of curiosity to discover everyone else. But that does make it more scary, or more,
definitely
give you more anxiety if you consider yourself the lowest person there. And I do kind of, with my own anxiety and depression, I struggle with that a lot, where I just like, I have a belief that I am the worst person in the room.
Interesting.
Imposter
syndrome in a way.
Yeah, imposter syndrome and very much just my own lack of belief in myself.
Right.
But I'm working through it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I
know you are.
Yeah. But so I would have to say, I don't want to say anything that as if I know the answers, but this is how I'm learning to navigate it myself through trial and error.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I've gone into rooms thinking I'm the best person, and I've been schooled.
I bet.
Schooled by someone, and then there's been times when I've thought that I don't deserve to be there, and everyone here is a billionaire, and I'm the guy who's broke, and it's just like, and I feel like. And like I want to just hide in a corner and run away. And it's like I have both of those experiences.
Yeah.
But that is how, with both of those spectrums that I'm describing, this is how I am trying to navigate and learn how to be better in those rooms.
Definitely. Yeah, I like the curiosity bit, because I think curiosity can be even a key in that regard.
Yes.
Like moving into a space with ultimate curiosity of who's in there and what can I learn from these people.
That sounds like taking.
Right.
Yeah.
True. But it's more of a respect thing, because you respect the people that you're talking to, and you respect what they are good at, and what they are, like, not even from a work standpoint necessarily, just as a human. Like, what can I take away from a conversation with this person by being curious about who they are?
Yeah.
And so it's like the give and take that allows you to walk into any conversation confidently. Like that's where the boldness is just having the conversation. In my mind, it's not necessarily, boldness isn't, oh, what are you saying? Are you saying the right thing? How loud are you saying it? To me, boldness is starting the conversation. And then you have the curiosity to let the conversation turn into whatever it does without trying to like hold it so tightly. For me as a podcast host, it's been a journey of doing that. When I first started, if you were to go back and watch some of the earlier episodes, you can probably see me hold really tight to what I want the conversation to be. And even as the host, like share my own opinions to try to navigate the conversation in the way that I want it to be, rather than host. And be curious and learn and grow with the person that's across from me. And so, like, I think understanding that level of curiosity helps conversations move in a way that you wouldn't necessarily think of, but are probably way better than what you could have ever imagined either.
So I like this because you're kind of, the taking question is, what can you do for me? But the healthier question is like, what can you teach me? What can I learn from you?
Right. Yeah.
What can I discover with you? What can you do for me? What can you show me?
Show you. Yeah, it's great. Yep.
And I think people love to people do love to share themselves.
Right.
And then I think in terms of, if you can match their intelligence or their ability, that can help them feel validated as well.
Definitely.
And so I think the intent is like to have the best conversations. I think it is that bottom line, like, instead of asking what can you do for me, it's like, what can I give you by just learning about you?
100%.
Like, and I think actually I would
curiosity
say
leads to affirmations as well.
And I would say John Mark is who taught me that.
Oh yeah.
Love
John Mark.
He taught me a lot of just the best connections he's made has just been, he doesn't talk about himself. He just wants to learn from them. And he really does push the conversations to learning and talking about them without aggressively pivoting it to talking about himself.
Right.
It's but it means that that person's talking about themselves a lot, but also that is nice. that's a hard balance. Like, you don't want to.
It's exhausting to talk about yourself.
You don't want to make the conversation about yourself. But
No.
if that person is asking genuine, interesting questions and following up and sharing, like, oh, that's interesting. It made me think about this as well. Like, do you know? Actually, on top of that, do you know about the conversation branch theory?
I don't.
So, like, hi, hello, I'm Hayden. Hi, I'm Ben. Root of the tree planted.
Right.
I do this, and yeah, I did this the weekend. These are little branches.
Right.
And sometimes when people monologue or doing these long-winded answers, what they're doing is they're growing a bunch of different branches of the tree. And when they kind of decide to stop, you then have to decide which of those branches was the most interesting for you to grab.
It's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot to think about.
Yes. And so that is a skill set that I'm learning as well. So as someone with severe anxiety, that is how I'm learning to overcome it. I am very much paying direct attention. What branches are they giving out to me? And then I learned this with podcasting. Again, ironic, me, severe anxiety and podcasting. But that's why I actually started podcasting.
Yeah.
But as I'm doing it, it's, okay, this branch was a little bit, this is a really great branch. They did a lot here. We could talk about that, but this branch here. And so I could choose one of those two or any of the 10 they gave me. And then basically the bottom line is, tell me more.
Right.
Okay, this is an interesting branch. Tell me more about this branch. And now starts bringing out a bunch of different branches.
Right.
That is a new tree that starts growing from that. And that is a way that I am now approaching a lot of these conversations of just active listening and finding what branches that they're giving me. And then they get to learn about me in choosing what branch was the most interesting for me to learn more about. Or share, like, hey, yeah, I know a lot about this branch. Let me show you my branch about that, and these guys can come together. I don't know. Yeah. The metaphor's lost. We've lost the metaphor now.
It's gone.
Yes.
You monologued for too long.
Yeah.
Bro. Now I don't know which branch to go with.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's a good point.
This is a new thing that I've been learning and actively trying to practice doing, and I am finding myself to have better connections and conversations with people.
That's cool. That's cool. I respect that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Nice.
All right. You want to pivot? I'm going to pivot.
Hit me to pivot.
I'm curious, and I don't know how you view your career, because we haven't talked about this at all.
Yeah.
I don't know how you view yourself right now with the career that you've had, but I'm curious from the outside looking in, seeing how it seems like you have a very fulfilling career, and you have had a very fulfilling career in the fact that you've done a lot of things that other people would dream of doing. So that's where I'm coming from. How do you now, well, I guess, do you see it that way, or do you see yourself as just kind of starting? Interesting.
I have to admit, I actually have a huge resentment of my career.
Really?
Yeah. But I will acknowledge where I am is incredible, and how I got here is insane.
Yeah.
But this is not where I wanted to end up, and I feel like I've been on a train for too long, and it was... I resent my work and my career because I think I made it my entire identity. I made it my entire, like, I wake up to work. I then work all day to then do this and I will do everything I can to make the best content possible. But what that ended up doing is taking over my life. And that then becoming my sole identity, where I existed to work rather than work served me as a foundation to have life. And then because of that, as I've mentioned earlier, because of my obsession and the pressure that I had to be the industry leader,
right?
And for me to be having to prove that when I never really felt like I ever had proved it. Like, people gave me this moniker when I edited for fucking Logan Paul and Mr. Beast. Like, the two worst things that happened on the internet, and people are labeling me as this genius, and I didn't. And we are talking about imposter syndrome. But like, I didn't feel like I deserved that moniker.
Wow.
And because I've known creative people who have made like great movies, incredible documentaries, incredible pieces of film that I do not know how to make, and and everyone's now comparing me to these people. That is really, really, really scary.
That is
and
scary.
It filled me with anxiety. It filled me with depression. It filled me with self-doubt and the inability to believe in myself. And then that gave me so much fear that I kept on working harder and harder and harder to just
drown it out.
No, to try to prove it.
Oh, prove it. Okay.
When even though I'm in this belief that I'm never going to be able to achieve what I would consider the standard of what I would consider an industry leader or the best editor in the world. I am nowhere near that, and I hated that I kept on being labeled that, and so this sense to prove it became so overwhelming and took over my life so much that again is what pushed away the love of my life and made me spend a lot of money that I didn't have, and made me so toxically arrogant because I was trying to prove that label by having arrogance, and then instead just like being not a good person to work with because the people I'm working with are trying to do their best, but because it's not matching the moniker that I was given, I got pissed at them and I became toxic to them. And so I pushed away everyone I loved and everyone that I worked with because I just succumbed to this pressure. And with that as well, I really began to resent that I got caught in this career of talking about editing rather than actually editing as well. I'm making videos of like, hey guys, if you put this clip together, you get this emotional thing. But I'm not actually editing because I'm spending all my time making these videos.
Right.
And so again, there's another sense of imposter syndrome from that. It's like I can talk the talk, but can I walk the walk? And I didn't have time to make content to prove that I can still do the job.
Right.
And I couldn't balance. And so I would take on freelance jobs to try to prove it. But then because of that, and also running my business and the podcast, and also trying to have a relationship.
Going too fast, too soon.
Too much.
Yeah,
too much. And it was overwhelming. I couldn't handle any of it. And so it was just the need. And this was the first time in my life where people were respecting me in that way, which is something that I've always wanted. And I never actually had my entire life. And so for the first time to finally have that type of respect, it made me so desperate for it constantly. Just
wow, yeah,
because I'm clawing at it, and because it was like it
felt like you were starved for so long.
Yeah, it was. You don't realize how hungry you are, or like at least I got used to it of not being respected. And then suddenly getting it for the first time in my life in the way that I've always wanted, it was just I was just gorging on it, even though I didn't believe it, I didn't trust it because I didn't believe in myself in it, and so I became like a walking contradiction.
Wow,
or a breathing contradiction, and so just in the end, all of this torture that I put myself in the end made me lose everything that actually was dear to me, that actually was more important than any of it. And now they're gone. And now I'm stuck and the thing that I've been learning is, what's the point of all of this work if you've got no one to come home to? What's the point? And
there isn't one.
There isn't one. Why do we dedicate our lives to all of this? Why do we dedicate our lives to making fucking content? Like, I will spend a month, 12 hours a day, every day, and 4 hours of sleep making this one piece of content, and it'll be forgotten about in 24 hours. Like,
Yeah.
it was like
No one cares.
There was a time in my life when what I was making was one of the biggest things on the internet, and now no one, and then that shit doesn't even matter anymore. It's like, why do I put my value in this output? Why do I put my existence and purpose into this output that is inherently meaningless?
It's just sucking life at that point.
And it is. And
crazy.
me chasing this meaningless and throwing these, what I call it, like we make something, we throw it into this void, and I made that more important than love. I made that more important than care. I made that more important than life. And I prioritized it, and I neglected the things that actually were giving me happiness, and I was ignoring it, and because I thought that me just chasing this job, that's what makes me happy, when actually that was the thing that was killing me.
Yeah.
And it's like, this was heroin.
Yeah.
It was okay, I haven't done heroin, but like
I know.
but is it but
It's
like
a metaphor.
but the behavior that I did, because
you became addicted to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
As I've been learning about how people get addicted to those types of substances, my behavior is a parallel to that,
Wow.
where you have self-hatred and pressure from the world, and everyone is expecting these things from you, and it all hurts, and you don't feel like you deserve love, and then you find a substance that actually makes you feel good, and then you think that's the only thing that can make you feel good, and then so you keep chasing more and more and more of it, and then that becomes your priority, even though that thing is making you feel worse and worse and
Right,
worse.
it's not
and
actually
worse.
helping you.
It's not helping
actually
you
a
at
solution.
all. It's destructive. But yet, that's the thing that you feel like is the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
That's addiction. That's dependency. And I became dependent on work because of all of these toxic inputs that were coming to me and my interpretation of all of it. And I became blind to the things that actually were giving me life. And
Wow.
And now they're gone.
Yeah. Jeez.
And they want nothing to do with me and that. And now the only thing I have to do is just, I guess I'll just go back to work. So imagine going back to like an abusive girlfriend, you know? It's like,
Right.
and that's what I'm feeling now.
Yeah.
It's, I have to keep surviving, and the only way I know how is just going back to work.
Right.
And I don't want to, but I don't have a choice.
Because
So-
that's what's like home to you almost. That's the thing that, even though it's destructive, it's comfortable.
No, it's
Maybe, or
it's,
just-
it's the only thing that can serve me at the moment.
Gotcha.
Like it's
Bro,
and
I can't even imagine being in a place like that.
trying to survive in a place like that.
Yeah, I can't even
It's-
imagine that.
It's there's this like question I've been asking myself the past year, which is like, was it worth it? No.
No, not one bit.
I was one of the biggest things on the internet at one point. I'm considered an industry leader. I get to work with more or less anyone that I want, but I don't have a home. So none of this is worth it.
Bro. Jeez.
But it's
So
but it's
what-
an interesting thing though, because it's like where I am in the career wise is incredible,
Yeah.
but I hate everything about it
Right.
because it's cost me everything.
Right.
And so that's mean it wasn't worth it. And so, but I know I am in a place that people would dream of. And I would say, this is not this is it's lonely at the top, I guess. That's probably
We're not alone. You're
Yeah.
definitely not alone. I want to encourage you there.
but it's not this. We're talking about the party at the start of this podcast. We're talking about the party culture, you know,
Yeah.
getting with the scars and
Yeah.
all these drugs and over that. It's like, it's not worth it.
No.
It's like, yeah, like that is a dream lifestyle. My lifestyle is a dream lifestyle to someone. It's, if you live in excess of that lifestyle, you destroy everything that actually is giving you what you need.
Yeah.
And you need to work better in maintaining what you need rather than what you want. And if you neglect what you need, all you're left is what you want, and that can't sustain.
Cannot sustain. Not at all, dude. Well, I know we've had conversations like this in the past, and so I don't want to pretend that I'm just hearing this.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate like things I've said in the past. You know, obviously I care about you. There are so many people that care about you, that you aren't alone. You have community around you. I think that's why community is so important in times like this, especially. And so you have that, like, you know, you can reach out to so many people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to know and feel the loss that you have and are experiencing now with everything you just laid out is one of the toughest things that you can experience.
It is.
To not be wanted and loved by the people that you love the most is gut-wrenching.
It is.
It's gut-wrenching.
Like, I have a couple friends who are going through a experience where they love someone and they're rejected, and it is a tremendously painful emotion where it's like, and all that does is teaching you is like I was mentioning, like, was it worth it? And now, but now on top of it, you go, am I worth it? And that really, and again, another thing for me, like, considered an industry leader, like, am I worthy of that title? Am I worthy of that moniker? Is a really existential problem that I'm having. Am I worthy of that title? And it's like, don't feel worthy of anything that I have. And it's, even though I'm grateful for it. And so
Yeah.
It's like, again, both emotions can be true.
Yeah.
And then so,
but it's hard to be grateful for it when
it's giving you nothing but pain.
True.
It's so difficult. It's such a difficult thing.
I want to encourage you, bro, because I know you're like going through a lot of this stuff right now. Like, these are like thoughts you have on a daily basis. You were like, everything that you just laid out, and the place that you're in right now emotionally is something that you go through like every day.
Yeah.
And it's real, and it's not something that's like, you know, built up or created for a moment.
No, I would say it has been built up over the 31 years of my life.
It's built up, but it's not performative.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse with you, right? Like, as a friend, I don't want to, but as we're having this conversation, I just can't help but to continue to point you towards Jesus, because, like, dude, he is the answer to this existential issue and problem that you're having, and the realities of what we were talking about earlier with, like, everybody has, you know, bones in the closet, everybody has problems, everybody has fallen short of the glory of God. Can I read the following verse one more time?
Yeah.
For you?
Go for it.
For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Cool. All are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that came by Jesus Christ on the cross. We are all in a place of existential crisis. Some of us are more awake than others about it. And I think seeing you being so woken up and so aware and so like hopeless, I know you've heard this from me and like other friends that we have, but I just want to continue to like lift you up, bro, because at the end of the day, the grace of Jesus what he did on the cross is the only thing that can actually sustain you. When you're feeling this brokenness and this hopelessness, like, that salvation is the only thing that's going to carry you through that and beyond. And like, the fact that we all fall short and none of us deserve it, none of us are worthy of this love, even though we have this whole self-love movement and everybody's like, you're worth it, you're worthy. It's like, no, like, we're inherently not, because of the brokenness of the world. Like, we see it everywhere.
The world is an absolute chaos.
It's in absolute chaos. And it's just so important to understand the weight of what Jesus did on the cross, because what that means is it's an acknowledgement of, yes, the world is in chaos. Yes, your world, Hayden, is in chaos. And every bit of what you just went through is 100% true. You are a, broken individual. It's like, you can be as pessimistic as you want because it's true. But, big but, Jesus paid it all. Jesus already did everything and took care of everything that you're worried about. He already put you in a place where, through your acceptance of what he did and just understanding, yes, he did that, and I understand the weight of it, it automatically flips the script.
Yeah.
It automatically puts you in a place where you are worthy of love. Not by anything that you did, though. Not by the 31 years of life that you've lived. Not by, the 12 plus years of career that you've had. You're worthy because Jesus said you are worthy. And that's enough. And so, like, bro, read your Bible more, bro. Like when you get in these moments of just doubt and just hopelessness, dude, like, read the Bible. And that's why I said, it's like, I don't want to be beating a dead horse for you, but I love and care for you so much as I can after only knowing you for a year and a half. And whenever I see you in these moments, I'm just like, I just like want to cry out, like scream, and just be like, Hayden, Jesus loves you, bro. Like, read the Bible. Like, it's literally like, he just states over and over and over and over in the Bible how much he loves you and cares for you and wants the best for you, even though you're at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, bro?
I want, if God is true, it's like, the thing that is hanging me up on it is, I need to have the conversation with him. I just want to say, how dare you? How dare you make me at 7 watch my mum die? How dare you have that make my family kind of fall apart? How dare you put me in a school environment where I am alone my entire time and I'm bullied? How dare you? How dare you make me discover porn at such a young age that it completely distorts how I see women, and all because I miss my fucking mum, so I'm so desperate and so neglected of love that I all I want is motherly love, but then I just chase women for all the wrong reasons because I miss it so much. And then how dare you give me friends that are so good to me, but then I abandon and I fail for my own self-indulgentness, or they abandon me for someone better, and then that is the consistent theme of my life, that I'm always abandoned for someone better. Someone that I would consider my best friend for life is I'm barely an acquaintance to them. That fucking hurts.
No doubt.
how dare you make everyone abandon me during my second year university? Because again, like, I got too arrogant. Like, why did you not warn me? Why did you not help me prevent this shitty behavior? And then how dare you not help me when I thought that showing millions of people a dead body was a good idea? And I do believe the idea that you sent as an apology my ex-partner, and how dare you put me in an environment where I push her away? What are you trying to teach me? Because all you've done is given me so much pain. And I don't want it. Because it's so unbearable. And... like... what else can you take from me? What are you trying to do? Because if I can't believe in you, and now you're surrounding me by all of these Christians who believe in you, it's making me feel even more alone. Because all you've done is betray me and hurt me. And I know you've tried, but I don't think you're worthy of me, God.
Wow.
And it's going to take a lot more for me to respect you, because all you've done is hurt me. And that's what I've been struggling with, man.
Yeah.
How are we doing for time?
That's Hayden, that's real.
Yeah.
Hayden, I know you're in this place where you're mad at God.
Yeah.
I want you to know that God is not the one that is causing the pain. The pain, the suffering is a reality of the evil that entered this world.
Yeah.
And I want to address that, because that is the biggest lie that the enemy gets us to believe, is the idea that the sovereign God makes the bad happen, because then he's left off the hook.
Yeah.
The devil doesn't have to deal with the consequences of that.
Yeah.
He gets to blame it on God through you. And I want to combat that right now.
Yeah.
This is a little weird, but like, legitimately, Hayden, in Jesus' name, I combat that. I rebuke that, because that is not the truth. The truth is that Jesus loved you so much to give you a life, to be able to have free will and make choices. Because if he didn't love you as a person, as someone that he values, he would have made you a robot. And he would not have given you a choice and skin in the game.
Yeah.
But God said, no, I'm going to give man skin in the game. I'm going to give them a level playing field instead of answering all the questions.
Yeah. And my biggest fear is being a robot. It's like this whole conversation has been, this is who I am and what I feel, and this is how I'm going about it, and that's the free will that I have. And it's...
what a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing, bro. And so I want to encourage you with that. like Jesus is close to the brokenhearted. Do you know why most of this world is stuck in this endless cycle of hatred and denial and violence?
Yeah.
It's because they can't get to a point in their mind where they understand how broken they are. And they can't get to a place of laying down pride to even admit that they're wrong about something. And so for you, like, you are in that place and you're crying out. You literally just prayed. I don't know if you realized it, but you literally just prayed to the Lord.
Yeah.
And you laid it all on the ground, dude. You literally said, you did this. You gave your frustration to God.
Yeah.
God says, cast all your fears, all of your anxieties, all of your frustrations on me. God loves you so much. He wants to take everything that you just laid out in front of him, and he wants to scoop that up, put it on his back, and he wants to say, Hayden, that's not on you anymore. That's on me. And he wants to say, Hayden, walk next to me. I'm going to carry your entire load of fear, all of your anxiety, all of your depression, all of your frustration, all of your hatred. It's on my back now. You get to walk beside me scot-free, light. You get to live life now with a reality that you don't have to carry that anymore. And you can be light and joyful and grateful, and you can live a life full. And he's going to carry that for you because of what he did on the cross. Because we can't carry that, bro. Like you're sitting here and you're just like, you are like in the trenches, bottom of the barrel, because you're carrying all of this on you.
Yeah.
And the enemy wants you, Satan wants you to carry that, bro. Because if you carry that, that means that you're going to stay low. You're going to stay down in the bottom of the barrel. You're not going to have joy. You're not going to have happiness. You're not going to have fulfillment and purpose in life because you're so worried about all of these things. And so, dude, like,
I can't carry that load anymore.
You don't have to.
And it's so much so that it was like Satan opened his doors for me and was inviting me in. And that was because I can't carry the fucking load anymore.
bro, let me ask you this. Would you rather sit in the house with Satan where he's making you carry all of that and he's heaping it on your back? Or would you rather sit in the house with the Lord, the God of the universe, who said, Hayden, you're my son. Mm. You are my child and you don't deserve that. Mm. That's not your fault. I'm taking all that and I'm putting it on my back, even though it's not my fault either. Mm. Well, what a God, bro. What a father that is.
I also do think, just like having a beer with Satan would be a really interesting conversation. But like, I don't want to stay at the pub, you know? Like, that'd be such an interesting conversation with him as well, you know? Just like why do you do what you do? It's like, that would be interesting to just learn, but no way would I want to stay there. Like,
do you know why we're in this? You want to know why we're in this place?
Why?
Because Adam had the same thought. Adam was like, I want to know. I want to have this knowledge, this so-called knowledge and understanding.
So I'm tempted to take the apple off the tree.
Bro, don't take the freaking apple, dude. Don't take the freaking apple. Dude.
Man, Adam really fucked it up for all of us, didn't he?
He really did, bro. But guess what? God loved you so much that he still gives you the choice. And, bro, I'm not doing this like because we're on the podcast. Like, genuinely, I was thinking of just waiting until we're done. But I'm just hearing you again, like, go through all of this. And I really think God is calling you to make that decision right now, bro. Because I've seen it for the last year just weigh on your heart. I've seen you in dark places, and I've seen you have conversation after conversation, and I've seen you in a moment similar to this before. And I think God is calling you to actively seek him and actively make unfortunately, very public profession of I'm laying this anxiety, this fear, this depression off of me. It's no more. It is not mine to carry. It's the Lord's, and entering into this new place of genuinely believing what he did on the cross and believing that has an effect on you, because it does. So, bro, you don't have to do it publicly, like out loud, although God highly encourages it. But if you are in a place where you actually want to verbally say that for yourself, I very highly encourage you to do it now, because Jesus is very clear about giving us free will and then giving us a choice and giving us the ability to make that choice, bro.
I want to give God my weight if he can carry it, and I got to find my way to hand him that weight.
100%.
And I was in a very dark place as well when I met her, and she gave me so much light, and part of me, like, there was no, the circumstance of the way that me and her met was so insane that it does feel like she was sent to me. And it feels like she was taken away from me as well. But that was for me, and so I really, really hope that this journey that I'm on means that I'm worthy of her again. And worthy of God. And I know I am in terms of the teachings of the Bible, but isn't
that the funny thing though about grace?
I just don't know that, like, who or what power took her. And I think a lot of it was in my power because I pushed her away, but if God did send her to me, I really hope, I don't know how to phrase it, but it's just like, I hope he one day knows that I am worthy of her again and is able to send her back if she wants to as well.
I'll join you in that prayer. I pray that God, in his grace, allows you for that relationship, because it sounds like a genuine, joyful light in your life. And I think God, I know God wants us to be in a light place and have those people. And I don't want to take anything away from her in saying this, but like I said, bro, you got some more of those people in your life, and I know you know that. And the reality of consequences in life is the worst thing. And it's, as we both know, like, it's unhealthy to fixate on, like, the what ifs.
Yeah.
But I know this one thing. Jesus wants a relationship with you. And Jesus wants to give you that same light and more. I believe whoever she is, I believe she was sent by the Lord.
Yeah.
To give you that light, to give you a light in the darkness. But I just want to encourage you that she is not the source of that light.
Yeah.
Jesus is the source of that light.
Yeah, I agree.
And so the glimpse that you had with her, the more than a glimpse, the freaking aperture 1200 that she was in your life. It's a filmmaker joke.
It's a good one.
Jesus is the freaking grid, dude.
Yeah.
He's the one powering that. He's the one giving that sorts of light to her. So that's my last thing for this conversation.
I agree.
But like, dude, that's why I push you so hard there, because I see your, like, desire and your yearning for this, for that joy and sustenance, sustaining in life.
Yeah.
And I just want you to have it, bro.
I hear you, and I'm embracing all of it, and I'm embracing you guys in the community. And I know it's I guess a sinful ask, but like I just need a little bit more from him for me to trust him. And it's,
I get it.
And it seems like he's trying, but he hasn't completely earned my trust yet. And I know, in like, because you have it in your hat, in God we trust or whatever, but it's like, I know you have it in your hat, but it's like, I need a little, I don't know what it is, but it's up to him and him and the universe, but it's like, I just need something else for me to be able to trust him, because
his son dying on the cross wasn't enough for you.
Fair enough.
That's crazy.
You're right.
Sorry,
you're right.
I'm not trying to shame you.
I respect that. That's a good joke.
I mean, it wasn't even a joke. It's like, bro sent his son to like die the most brutal death so that we could have eternal life. I mean, I hear that. I'm not taking anything away from it, because it is real. Like, I want to acknowledge, bro, your feelings of, I need more from the Lord, and let me say, your feeling of your authentic feeling of where you're at right now. Yeah. Don't lose that. You need that, bro. Like, I grew up in a world where Christians didn't even have this, right? They're like self-righteous pricks. Yeah. But bro, he sent his son to die on a cross, dude. Publicly in front of millions of people.
He made the ultimate sacrifice, and it's interesting that I can't seem to, I don't know how to phrase it, but like, it's interesting that I don't respect that, because he still hurt me. And so it's like, why should it's like, I think that's what it is. Like, why should I care for you in that? Like, why should I have empathy for that when you hurt me? You know, like, we all had that, you know. It's like, if someone's hurt you, and then something tragic or even success, and is like, and you resent it. Right. And I think that's a feeling.
Well, I'll say it again, bro. He didn't hurt you.
Yeah. It looks like they were at time though, because I got a dip.
Yeah, it's we're definitely past time, and I appreciate you taking the time, bro. Seriously, like,
and I really, really, really appreciate you listening, because those are things that I've been wanting to communicate to you and to the community, and I really hope that everyone doesn't take personal offense or have that develop a negative relationship with me. But it was important for me to share what my relationship with God is, and I hope that everyone can understand and respect that, and just allow me to find ways for me to trust God, because that's trust and respect is an important, very, very, very important thing for me. And I really hope, and I'm trusting, and I'm trying to trust the universe that it's not going to hurt me like that anymore. Because yes, you do learn a lot, and you do develop your soul through pain, but there's a fucking limit. Come on, man. It's like, come on, what else you need to teach? that's the joke that I can kind of do as an out for this. It's like, come on, man. This sucks at this point.
It does, bro. It does. Well,
but thank you for listening, truly.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks.
Yeah.
You're welcome for listening. Of course, I'm always here to listen. Few things. One, if I see you and I trust you and I respect where you're at, if anybody else doesn't, they have to go through me.
Yeah. I like
understand that.
I like that.
Trust. Like, genuinely, I see you as a brother. And I don't know if you see it the same way, but I want you to know that I see it that way. And I trust you as a friend. I've seen the way that you operate. You're loyal, you're kind, you're very, very reliable as a friend. And I just want to encourage you to keep seeking these answers. Don't stop, bro.
Yeah.
You're like, keep looking and asking and doubting and questioning the God of the universe. He wants you to do that, bro. Like, he literally calls us children because he knows that we do that. And all he wants is for us to ask those questions. All he wants is for us to want to be, have a better understanding and learn more about him. So don't stop that.
Yeah.
No matter what anybody tells you.
As I've shown you, like, I'm doing my best to always be curious.
You are, bro. You're the most curious person I know. I want to add on. I don't want to let this go. And I know we're very over time.
Yeah.
But the bit that you said about, you know, when is enough pain?
Yeah.
I recently, last year, over a year ago now, I had the opportunity, very humbling opportunity, to go to death row in a prison in Texas. And that rocked my soul, because as somebody who hasn't gone through nearly as much pain as you have or as they have, and theirs is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
It really shook me seeing them in their faith in Jesus, seeing them in their reverence for God, literally sitting in this cell, and they're just like singing these praises to God out of this brokenness, this peak brokenness, and realization that they have peaked in brokenness, that they will never touch grass again before they're gone off this earth, that they will never have an opportunity to see a beach, that they will never have the opportunity to love and maybe marry somebody if they haven't already. All these joys of life, happiness that we crave as humans, they have given up the right in our society to have that. Those are some of the most joy-filled people, men, I've ever encountered in my entire life. And that rocked me, because it proved to me that the grace of God is bigger than anything that we can conceptualize on this earth. Any pain that we can conceptualize on this earth, he is bigger than. And it's his grace that allows us to reach a level of pain because of the brokenness and because of the sad reality of our sinful nature, because of what Adam did. It's his grace that allows us to go through pain, because pain brings us closer to God. And he wants that. All he wants is for us to stop being these pricks and ask him and beg for answers and like question his reality and like come sit at the feet of Jesus. That's all he wants, bro. And so I'm like, I'm not taking away from pain, but I'm saying that the grace of God is so big that it covers the pain, and it's a reality of, not reality, it's the grace of God is the pain, because if it wasn't for the pain, if it wasn't for those things, bro, you wouldn't be in this place. You wouldn't be in this place of seeking after the King, the God of the universe. So
yeah.
I just want to encourage you with that, because again, it's a lie that this pain is caused by God.
This pain,
but it's because of the pain that we're able to see him.
This pain has led me to this life. It hurts, but this is where it's led me to, and what is around me is good.
100%.
It just sucks that it hurt to get here. That's
no doubt, bro.
Yeah,
no freaking doubt.
That's the issue that I've been having. Like, that's what I mean. I love where I am. It just sucks that this was agony.
Doubt.
All right.
No doubt, bro. I love you a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you for chatting. I'm sorry for holding you over time.
No, these were important conversations to have, and so this was
very important.
And going back to the theme of it, this was the gift that I wanted to give to you. This conversation.
Thank you, bro.
So
I receive it.
So yeah, right. Like, so to wherever I need to be next, this was the gift I wanted to give to you. So I'm so happy that I was able to give that to you.
I'm so happy that you gave it.
Yeah.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
I love you, bro.
Okay. Well, also, this is when we'll find out. It turns out none of these are recording the whole time.
Dude, I hope not, bro. Oh, don't say that. That's my anxiety. Yeah, okay. That is my fear and anxiety.
Let's hug and check.
You're listening to the Created to Create show.